red, blue, purple light. Friends, red, blue, purple light. Friends, facts, red, blue, purple light. Friends, red and blue, purple light. Friends, facts, you can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to Melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road, you better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego, then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah, we gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts, we in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts, peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light. To the family. Peace, love and light. To the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to Melanin Tuesdays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for this afternoon, Brother Red Pill. Let me know how we sound on the audio. Let me know how we sound on the audio. That song that you just heard, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to sing along in whatever whatever octave your voice puts you in and whatnot. Feel free to sing along and to just go with that cosmic soul. That right there is the Facts remix brought to you by the 44 Tops, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for them. Clap it up. What a way to start a show. What a way to start a show. And look, let me just tell you how the great divine is divine, right? Because usually people always tend to go into victimhood mode. Whenever something weird happens, people tend to have default is to go into victimhood. Last night, we went live. There was no sound. Everything that's plugged up right now was plugged up the same way last night. I literally didn't touch a thing, right? And the show started and we lost sound. But I was needed in that moment in my household to the point where if the sound was working, I would have had to cut the show early anyway. So everything works out for a reason. And the ancestors, you know what I'm talking about? They was like, nah, we want you to cook on Christmas Eve. Last night was cool and everything. Melanin, they was like, nah, we're going to push this to today. So here we are. Here we are on this beautiful day. And I'm talking about early in the daytime to get this work. You know what I mean? What a way to start Christmas Eve. Let the countdowns begin. Now, if you're somebody out there who don't practice and who doesn't observe and who doesn't acknowledge that day, oh, cool beans. You know what I mean? No, rock out. You feel me? But there's people out there who are in this type of, because remember, let me just put this out there as a disclaimer. We don't rock with the traditional Christmas shit no more, to the point where it doesn't even hold any sway over the collective like that anymore. You feel me? When I was younger, we were really dreaming of a white Christmas, and it was really Christmas. Me and my son, we just went for a nice little stroll around the neighborhood, and we were kicking leaves, bro. He was on his little scooter and he was doing wheelies through the leaves. You feel me? So this is definitely not, grandma's Christmas. I'm used to the shit being up to your waist. You know what I mean? I'm used to those white Christmases, you feel me, where it was snowing. This one literally snuck up on me. I turned around and Christmas was like, the Grinch was like, huh. Santa Claus was in the living room like, huh, huh. I'm like, damn. What the fuck? I didn't even know y'all was on the way. I promise you I didn't hear jingle bells. You feel me? But I did see reindeer. What's fucking with that? On everything. I just seen a reindeer. Me and my son, me and Omari, we were in our neighborhood and we didn't go looking for the reindeer. The reindeer came looking for us. Facts. Facts. And I cannot stress the fact enough that and I'm not being judgmental, I'm being smudgmental on this Christmas Eve or this Xmas Eve, right? If you out here deer hunting, my genius, we not one and the same. We're not one and the same, bro. If you out here clipping deers and whatnot, I don't know if I could rock with you. Them deers, yo, majestic. You feel me? How could you hunt the fucking deer, bro? Me, I just seen the deer. The deer popped out. And I didn't even put 1 and 2 together until right now. To keep it a buck. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was in a walking meditation. I'm just sitting here like, hold on. On Christmas Eve, out of all days of the year, and I've been sharing with people my whole deer saga. You feel me? It's a TikTok series, bro. The fucking deer saga. I'm driving. I see the deer in the woods. Then I'm in the back of the house smoking. I see the deer like 2 houses away. Then another deer that's closer steps out of the shadow. I'm like, sort of a whole lot of deer activity lately. You know what I mean? And that's something that's not really prevalent in my existence, in my reality. So it's a lot of fucking deer. I had a dream with my dad and some deer in it. Then some deers pop out on my Wiz and my son, and I'm not there, and they tell me about it. So it's a lot of deer activity. What is the deer? All of my occultists, give me the breakdown. What's the dark meaning of the deer, my nigga? Talk black to me. You know what I'm talking about? Because I live amongst the deer. It's not like they're coming around. We're encroaching on their land. Where I live at, I'm in the woods and whatnot. So I'm not in no city environment. I'm literally encroaching upon the deer projects and shit like that. You know, I'm living in a deer colony. So it's not like they're coming around. No, my nigga, they went and put these cookie cutter cul-de-sacs in the middle of deer land. You know, you feel me? I seen a fox. I seen a deer. In the summertime, I'm seeing all of wildlife. It's cool. I'm not mad at it. I would rather live on a farm and really be tapped into nature like that. But yeah, we're out here in the woods and we're on their land. So the fact that these animals are beginning to come closer to me personally, it's just telling me something spiritually, symbolically, and I'm looking at it through many different lenses and whatnot. But shout out to the deer out there. Y'all niggas keep your head up, man, whatnot. You feel me? I know they say the deer meat is sweet. You know what I mean? What is that called? Venison or something? They said the deer meat is sweet, but however, for all of my deer out there, y'all niggas stay alive for 2025, bro. You know what I'm talking? Just stay out the way. Stay alive for 25. Stop being on the side of the highway when I'm driving by. laid out. You know what I mean? Stop signing up to be roadkill. Stop letting these pecker woods clip you and whatnot and knock you off in the woods and whatnot for a goddamn sport, a blood sport. Nah. They took the buffalo out. We lost the buffalo. You feel me? The last generation, we lost the bison. You feel me? To these streets and whatnot. So the deers need to just keep their head up. Nigga said you ate it, grow. I mean, I could. You feel if deer is being eaten, and people gotta nourish themselves, by all means, deer on a plate. But I don't think that's what's taking place in some of these places. They're just clipping deer for the sport of it and shit like that. You said venison is gamey and lean. You feel me? Gamey and lean. But if you rock with the deer, don't feel offended, because I'm speaking about the mindless killing of deer when people are out here hunting them and killing families and whatnot. The shit is sadistic. I don't call that game, because that's not really game. And I understand that when we were in the wild, that's something that we had to do to protect ourselves. And every now and then you might want to sharpen your sword. But nigga, that's not it. That ain't it. That's just them cosplaying killing us and our spiritual totems and whatnot. Those animals are connected to our bloodlines in more ways than people even know. So what they are blanket, what they try to give to you as what they call game, is really game, because when they took down the buffalo and the bison, when they came over here into the Americas and they clipped the spirit, when they went over there and they started killing all of those cows. Remember, cows are sacred in India and other places. When they put cows on a menu like that, yo, all of that is a ritual. You know, barbecue deer meat is fire. I'm gonna look around and see if I see any barbecue. You know how they have what's that thing? Beef jerky, deer jerkies. I wonder if they got any deer jerkies. Okay, the scene. Yeah, I remember that scene in Powder. Remember Powder? He made the redneck hunter feel what the dying deer felt. You feel me? Because keep in mind, in African traditions and things of that nature, right? Chickens and fowl is sacrificed. Well, what the hell is going on these slaughterhouses all around the world and whatnot, and especially in the USA, where chickens are being slaughtered in a rate of millions? Could somebody simultaneously be doing a ritual utilizing the mass killing of chickens, you know what I mean, to feed their god? I'm just wondering. You know, we didn't even do roll call. Let's go ahead and do that. You know what I'm talking about? Let's see who's in the building. This was just the opening monologue. Let's see who is in the building. The monologue is labeled for the deers. The deers out. The deers. You know what I mean? We got AZ in the building. Shout out to Arizona. Feel me? Shout out to AZ. Harlem in the building. Nashville, Tennessee in the building. We got Akron, Ohio. San Diego, Belize. Big up yourself. Buffalo, New York. Rough Buff. Seattle and whatnot. New Bedford, Connecticut. Massachusetts. ATL up in this thing. We got Houston, Vegas, Detroit. What up, though? Marietta, Portland, Oregon, West Virginia, Jersey, San Jose, Ohio, London, Decatur, Cleveland checking in, Huntsville checking in, Augusta checking in, Phoenix. We got Fayetteville, North Kakalaka. You feel me? Another Plymouth, NC, Dominican Republic, Indianapolis up in this thing, Florida, Detroit. We got Charlotte, Chino Hills, Henderson, Chicago. All right. Shout out to Chicago, South Jersey, Bridgeport, West Phoenix, East Flatbush, Montana. Shout out to all of y'all that are in the building today. All right. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. And we also have members. We have the option to become a member on this channel. And as a member, you have access to private videos that are lectures that go all the way back to 10 years, right? 2014. We got footage on this platform going all the way back to then. And you'll get access to never before seen footage and lectures that a lot of people have not seen because they've been behind paywalls. Shout out to all of my new members in the building as well. All right. Shout out to my mods in the building. Shout out to everybody that's traveling, right? Moving through this matrix and whatnot. You feel me? Shout out to y'all. Switzerland in the building, Atlanta in the building. All right. Yeah, so we outside. You feel me? And I've been in the lab once again, putting together this. This year in review, this 2024 year in review. I didn't understand the dexterity of the task that I was undertaking until I began to undertake it. Right? Let me explain myself. This year, 2024, is so eventful. Right? There's so many layers to this year. There's so many I would say what's the word that I'm looking for? There's so many connections. So many things are connected that it's mind-boggling. You understand? A lot of stories that came to fruition in 2024, they were brewing. And they were building themselves up over the years, y'all. Over the years, and for some way, somehow, some way, all of these things converge and culminated at this one point. At this one point, y'all. And it's blowing my mind. And I promise you, the best way to sum it all up is a season finale for a fire ass quote unquote season, bro. The season finale to a fire ass season that's tying up a lot of loose strings, but also setting up a super epic final season, or next season for that matter. I'm gonna do a little bit of voting today, right? I'm gonna livicate this show to do a little bit of polling and interactive with y'all, because I'm doing this breakdown and whatnot, but I'm feeling like I might be biased, right, in certain categories, just based off of my vantage point. I have a different vantage point than I would say anybody else this observing whatever they're observing. I see my vantage point from a bird's eye view, but I could also see my vantage point from a worm's eye view. You dig what I'm saying? It just depends on what it is. So different people have different vantage points, and they may see things differently than I do. You feel me? So I want to be able to engage with y'all, the KTLians, and find out, how do you see things? You feel me? As we do this countdown, as the countdown begins leading up to Monday, December the 30th, where we're going to be doing the 2024 year in review with the good brother Ross Ben, as he does his segment and whatnot, breaking down 2025 as the 9-year. All right. And giving you a forecast of what 2025, strive in 2025. You feel me? The 9-year. You feel me? So we're going to be pulling up and delivering this thing right here on Monday, December the 30th at 8 p.m. to 11, only on Zoom. All right. 2024 year in review, and we have visualized the 9-year, me and Ross Ben. The early bird tickets, the prices change after Xmas, after Christmas, which is tomorrow, right? Which is tomorrow. Whatever day you acknowledge it as, Friendsgiving, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Xmas. We don't, I cover all bases. Whatever you identify it as, after that day, the prices will change. This is the early bird. So definitely get yourselves a ticket, because that's going to be legendary right there. I promise you. That right there is going to be legendary. So, yeah, I've been in the lab doing some edits. Check this out, y'all. Let's check this out. 2024. Now, for anybody that's out there that's tapped into the murder music anagram, for anybody that's tapped into the murder music anagram, you know that it's either going up or it's going down. And if you really tapped in, if you really got your ears to the street, you'll know when it has the people under a complete spell, and when it's in its jubilee, and when it's going up, like when the stock is in its green candle, and you know when that shit is taking a dive and whatnot, because you know when the quote unquote appeal of certain artists begin to wear away, when the quote unquote spell that certain artists can have over people, when that spell begins to break, when it begins to wear away, when it begins to dissipate, right? I remember living in Atlanta, and Little Baby had a murder spell over the youth and whatnot, and the people that were listening to his music, like, they would do anything that he said. I remember when there was a time when Young Thug had a spell over Atlanta, and anything that he would tell them people to do, they would do it. I remember a time when Meek Mill had a super spell over the trenches in the hood, no matter where you was from, and whatever he said and whatever he was saying in those rhymes, people were trying to do it. They were trying to mimic it, and he had people in a headlock. I remember a time where Little Durk had the people in a headlock whenever he said and what he was instructing people to do with his murder music anagram. They were marching to the quote unquote flute that he was blowing and whatnot as the Pied Piper. They were marching to the drummer boy's drum. I remember a time when NBA Youngboy was telling dudes to go and kill, thrill kill, spin the block, run down, walk them down, and all of this stuff. And when he was at his heights, the murder rate was also at his heights. And the way that you could tell that the spell is thick is because the bodies be dropping. And the music that are made by these artists is called murder music. That is not the only music in their catalog. That's not the only music. When Vaughn was spinning and he had the murder rate going crazy, when Kodak had the murder rate going crazy, right? All of these artists that you see on this flyer right here all went through a decline, right? In the year 2024, all of their spells broke. Now, when I'm looking at these artists, all of them have different circumstances that interrupted the upward trajectory of their message and their energy and whatnot. They all encountered some type of quote unquote turbulence in their flight. You understand? They all had different interruptions and whatnot. Nonetheless, all of them have been interrupted. And when you interrupt, right, the harbingers of a certain type of frequency, when you interrupt the quote unquote trumpets from blowing and whatnot, when you interrupt the spell from being quote unquote broadcast, then that gives certain people the opportunity to wake up and to turn to something else, right? Because people are being bombarded by this frequency and this music, because they'll wake up from the spell that a Meek Mill might have them under, and then go pop up and hop on a spell from the new young nigga. So they not rocking with Baby, but they rocking with a new nigga out here. What's that little boy name? Baby Drill, right? They rocking with Baby Drill. You know what I'm talking about? So the rappers control the murder rate. You know, I'm talking about when they make murder music and murder anthems. Yeah, Boozy as well. Boozy, one of the originators of the murder anthem and the murder anagram and murder music, what we would call deaf culture, right? So when we take an assessment of the business or the industry, right, this is a way where we could basically begin to measure if it's changing or not. So I'm here to let you know, okay, as a music connoisseur, as a musical critic, but somebody who's able to see different layers of this music game or this music business or this music industry, I'm letting you know that it has been quote unquote disrupted, okay? This genre right here, there's many different genres that exist. There's many different genres, right? By show of hands, family in the audience, the KT aliens, by show of hands, press 1. Press 1 if you would say that you know, observe in this year that the spell that they've been having on our people, you know what I mean, got worse. Press 2 if you begin to see that spell start to decline and break a bit. Press 2 if the spell is beginning to break and the people are beginning to wake up. Press 1 if they still underneath that spell and it got worse this year. Right? Because it's always, you know, it's what the KTLians say, right? This is not a, you know, this is about with the collective, how we see it, right? So I'm sure that we're all on the same page, majority of us, right? I'm seeing more, there's more tools than the goddamn than the Mace video. You feel me? So unbeknownst to us sometimes, like I say, the great divine speaks through signs. Like, you know, unbeknownst to anyone how the world or how the universe actually maneuvers and how it works. But what we do know is things happen in cycles and whatnot. And cycles either go away, you know what I mean, or they change, or they get even more sophisticated. And what I'm observing is the fact that this cycle of the perpetual promotion of the deaf culture unshamedly, unabashedly, that is over. I could accredit a few people, right, to being what they would consider to be you know, agents, the agent Smiths in the Matrix. You feel me? You know, disruptors and whatnot. What they would consider to be ciphers in the Matrix in a sense, right? And in the real world or in this world, that would show up as people like a Charleston White, right? A person like Charleston White is almost like Cypher in the Matrix. You know, he's almost like Wreck-It Ralph. You feel me? He has no brand, he has no loyalty to anything other than disrupting the quote unquote chain of he's a virus in a sense. He's almost like malware. And what he did by stirring the pot, right? All of these years, as abrasive, as quote unquote negative, as troll and attention seeking, low energy, disrespectful, vile, all of these things, you know what I mean, were able to cut through a very thick-headed people. All of these quote unquote his you know, all of the negative shit that he did even added another element or another layer to the rawness of what he was doing, right? But make no mistake about it, you know, and I've been, you know, I paid attention. He was a great disruptor in this nigga paradigm. He was the one who really began to shift the sentiments of the people who are underneath the spell, right? Keep in mind, we're talking about a spell and spell breaking and whatnot. and the lengths and the extents that one will have to go to kind of break a spell. Because you know, if you're underneath a demonic spell, or you know, if you're underneath some type of dark spell, nobody could get you out of that spell by just saying, all right, when I snap my fingers, you're just going to go back to normal. It doesn't work like that. You feel me? The approach to break one out of the spell is going to be more intense than the initial approach to getting put underneath the spell. So in order to pull a nigga out of the spell, yeah, you got to be mad brash. You have to be very targeted. You have to be very, quote unquote, you know, cold-hearted in your approach, in a sense, to literally cut through the rock. You know how water can cut through a rock, but you got to be very precise. He was laser precise on his disdain and his disapproval of Black dysfunction that has literally taken over the airwaves and YouTube, you know, and other places and whatnot, and it's become the norm and not just the exception, right? And when other people were very afraid to say anything about it because a lot of niggas is living in fear, he said something about it. You feel me? He challenged that status quo. You feel me? He utilized a platform to be a descendant voice. I would say the good brother Hassan Campbell, he was another one who basically went ahead and became almost like a thorn in the side by being not just the anti-hero, but like the villain. You feel me? Very unconventional and whatnot, but putting the culture to the test in the public's mind, in the court of public attention. And then there's a whole bunch of other platforms and whatnot where there's people who are coming from a street perspective, like they have ties to the street and whatnot. You feel me? They have what is called social credit. That's what it's called in you know, in digital economy language or lingo or lexicon. It's called social credit and whatnot. So if you have ties to the streets and you have what they call street cred is now transferred into social credit. Social credit can now be leveraged and whatnot, and it could be arbitrarily, you know, leveraged to get you a bag on the internet. You feel me? And in places like podcasts, you know what I mean, and in the podcast realm, and the public speaking realm, in the author book realm, right? These things called street cred, which is now social credit or social capital, right? Because social capital will buy you social credit. Social credit will put you in a social economy where you now could be able to not just profit, you could brand yourself, you could create brands out of this, and you can, quote unquote, scale your brand, and you can scale whatever product that you have or whatever service that you have just by having high social credit in our community. Keep in mind, China rolled out the social credit system, right? In America, is soft shoe picking that up and whatnot, but bet and believe in about 5 years, that will be the norm and whatnot. Bitcoin has a lot to do with social value and social credit. If you are found to be a holder and a whale, or somebody who's holding a lot of Bitcoin, that raises your social value and your social credit in this oncoming society that we're moving into. That's how that's working. You feel me? There's gonna be Bitcoin only clubs, and you know, all of that, all of that. But when the decline of it's not just the art form that we're looking at. It's the frequency. You understand? It's the idea. It's the concepts. All of that. All of that got challenged. Who is the person that we want to zero in on as we decipher this whole thing, that man in the middle, he's the one that set it off. He set the tone for the year. Okay. He set the tone for the year. Cat Williams set the tone for the entire year. This is all, not all of it, but a lot of it. When I was telling you that there's a lot of connectivity in these storylines and whatnot, a lot of that shit connects into that interview that man did with Shannon Sharp, where he set the stage for the episodic season that had about 12 episodes. It was about 12 episodes. All of the Jason months, each one of the Jason months is an episode. You feel me? It had 12 episodes. Each month is an episode. So this shit was lit, bro. This was like The Boys, The Penguin, Supercell mixed with some whole nother shit. Right? 2024 was some are calling the best year in hip hop in just a very long time. If you don't want to crown it the whole entire 51 years, well, in a very long time, the most exciting year in hip hop. What ultimately came out of the 2024 hip hop analysis about what did it ultimately culminate into? It culminated into somebody taking the steering wheel of the Nebuchadnezzar and rerouting it, right? The whole culture shifted. It was a paradigm shift in what they call hip hop. In 2024, they took it back on some Game of Thrones type shit, on some on some Lakers, on some Bulls, Chicago Bulls, Game 6 type shit. Like Kendrick Lamar went up against the machine in the form of Drake and took the head of that Goliath and then declared war on Rome. You understand? He went ahead and he set it off and he set the stage. He's the harbinger. He's not him. He said, I'm not the savior. You niggas got a Neo on the way. I'm just setting the stage. This is what I do. I'm the hypocrite. But I'm gonna set the stage and I'm gonna go to war and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take homie down. There is no big three. Put who the new big three is in the chat. If not Kendrick, then who? Right? It was something that needed to happen. We willed it into existence to happen. It was spoken on by Blue Pill in 2014, maybe before that, as a matter of fact, with the Blueprint 322, where he spoke about Kanye falling, the Kanye star falling. Then he spoke about Drakeo or the Drake star falling and whatnot. So Draco in LA in the West, right? Drake in the West, he fell, right? He fell and whatnot. And then Drake in the North, he fell. You understand? Drake in 2024, visually or symbolically, is Assad statue being toppled in Syria in 2024. Both they both look alike, right? That's what you saw this year. In the world of what they call hip hop, they toppled his statue. Yeah, that's what they did. Was it at the pop out? Nah, I don't know if they did it at the pop out. The pop out was akin to when somebody takes your shit for siege and whatnot, and then they basically break through and they conquer the kingdom, and then they have like an event right after that to pop their shit. Yeah, that was a pop out. Pop out was a victory lap. The pop out was to put the world on notice. The pop out, right, brought the Bloods and the Crips on stage historically, right? Nobody necessarily asked this to happen. Nobody knew that this was going to happen. Keep in mind, I'm only speaking symbolically. I have no ties, nothing personal. It's all symbolism. I am a metaphysician. I decode reality. And this is reality, right? Symbolically, him bringing the red and the blue on stage in an election year, right? Bringing together these two warring factions and whatnot. Unrealized, untapped. You feel me? Because if Nipsey came out of the out of gang culture and whatnot, what does that tell you that gang culture is in possession of in terms of messiahs, messianic ones, leaders, and whatnot? You feel me? Like every nigga is a star. So what Kendrick did for the set, because it has to be done. You can't just ignore it. You can't just go on a victory lap like, yeah, I want a rap battle and I'm going to be in my ego and whatnot. I'm going to make this all about me and shit. I'm going to get up there and I'm going to dance and bring my cousin out and, just talk my shit and puff my ego up. No. Kendrick Lamar, a different template of an artist. Some of the people would catch on years from now what type of person that they're dealing with, in contrast to who they were dealing with the clear person who was running hip hop. It's clear now that Drake was the emperor in the whole emperor has no clothes meme, or Drake was the quote unquote, he was the one sitting on the throne, right? It's clear now that he was the one that was occupying that throne. And now it's clear that he has been removed from said throne. So what does that bring? What kind of future does that bring? You now are responsible for creating that future. It's your future. It's in your hands. KTLians and everybody with the Kendrick energy, the Kendrick frequency, the Kendrick mythos, the Kendrick legend. That's all your shit. You know what I'm talking about? That's all your shit. You better claim that. That's all yours, right? And yes, and the Super Bowl is his inauguration into New Orleans, huh? Of all places, right? Listen. Does anybody know about Mardi Gras with the Zulu King and the Rex King? Like, does anybody really know the history of that shit and how deep that shit goes? Like, does anybody really know what we dealing with? You know what I'm talking about? The Super Bowl is the inauguration. This whole shit is a ritual. This KKK at work. Kendrick, Cat in the Hat. You feel me? This is all a ritual. The culture and the art form and that motherfucking pen that he's rapping about was given back to you in 2024. So the people have no excuses. The creators have no excuses. You know what I'm talking about? The creators don't have no excuses. Right? It's time to create. And if anybody's been to the Mardi Gras, give me the science, give me the metaphysics, break that shit down. Place King Kunta in the motherfucking mythos. Kendrick, Cat, Kai, nigga, they cooking. Let them cook. Huh? They in the kitchen. These fucking K's, y'all. You know what I'm talking about? These K's is going crazy. These K's is going crazy. So this was a year where Cat predicted that the covers are going to get torn off, that the veil is going to be lifted, that the seals are going to be broken. You feel me? Cooking with Kaya, cooking with Kaya. Huh? On some Kanye shit, vultures. Come on, man. He showed up in the all black with the black hood on. You niggas called it KKK. Rightfully so. But not the same KKK that y'all used to. And he came and he told you vultures. Code word for, let me show you. Code word for that dark energy. That shit Bobby and them talking about. Right? Vultures. Right? That dark energy. Right? We not here to judge. We're here to observe. He popped up on his St. Maurice shit. Yes. Ye popped up with the double-headed vulture and whatnot on his Black Germany St. Maurice shit. You feel me? And he got these young boys and whatnot. He's working through the way that all unks out here should be working through. You should be working through your proteges. You should be working through the youth who have the youth culture. You don't got to be a unk or old head in charge or in control of the youth culture. You could control it through your proteges. So his protege, he has proteges in Travis Scott. He has proteges in Playboy Cardi. And he's able to run shit vicariously through the artist and whatnot that he has his creative control. Creative control. Right? Creative control. So with these artists and the darkness that they represent, right? I mean, we in the Kali Yuga, right? So the darkness that the gothic rappers and the ragers and whatnot represent, and the fact that they have the youth in the palm of their hands, right? They have the youth in the palm of their hands, and they're steering them away from this conventional shit that wasn't serving them any purpose or any good. Things like drill culture, right? Things like trap culture. Things like all of these cultures. And they're bringing them into, I call this aspiration nihilism, right? Your artistry, you know, expressionism, being able to curate your message through design language, through your fit. You feel me? That's an art. You know, people are making multi-million, multi-billion-dollar businesses off of what is called design language. Look what Yeezy did with those sneakers. You know? So I definitely have a level of respect for, you know, these newer artists that are out here that are replacing the traditional artists who have, you know, they have a lot of blood on their hands. You know, to see the murder, this murder anagram, and to see deaf culture and whatnot beginning to decline, and seeing that, you know, karma is visiting a lot of the people who perpetrated it, it just goes to show me that that we're living in a paradigm shift. Things change. All things change. You know, so shout out to all of the artists that are out there. Let's check out this next clip about the person who took the biggest L, right? The one who took the biggest L this year. I would say that there's more than one person that took the biggest L. by a show of hands, if the Democrats took the biggest L this year, put 1 in the chat. If Aubrey Graham, aka Drake, and the whole OVO empire, the Drake stands, everything that comes with Drake, if they were the one that took the biggest L, put a 2 in the chat. Got a lot of 1s. But we got some 2s getting on their asses too, though, boy. We got some 2s. We got a lot of 2s piling up. Okay. Now, throw in P. Diddy, Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, Brother Love, and everything that's attached that comes with him. He's number 3. If it was him, put 3 in the chat. Boy, them 3s is rolling in, boy. Them trees is rolling in, man. We forgot about my man Diddler. Huh? That's the biggest fall from grace. That's the biggest L this year. Damn. Is that it? We could be, I see a trifecta. We could be missing one more person, you know? But I would say that Diddy's fall is bigger than Drake's fall. Hell effing yeah. More is at stake, of course. He has more to lose. This is a RICO. And this is a liquor company on your ass. Right? Yo, if the liquor company was the ones that lined him up, if they get this nigga to get guilty, they're gonna put him in a chain gang cutting down sugar cane. You know them niggas got links to the plantations, right? Oh, damn, we forgot about Dirk. Shit. Drake is a pedo, but he don't got the charge yet. You understand? He don't have the charge yet. Once you get the paperwork and you get the paperwork is the spell. The paperwork is different. A charge is just air. Paperwork is different. A charge. He don't have it yet. He has the charge. So 2024, he got charged. And Drake got accused of. He didn't get charged. So we can't necessarily say that he has even faced the level of falling, right? That fallen can become. What's on the line with Diddy if he loses this quote unquote this case is the fact that everything is going after that. There's no coming back after that, let alone the amount of time that they might give him. You know, the empire crumbles. The brand is dead. Last name is dead. All of the archive shit is dead. Like, all of that is gone. You feel me? And your name is associated with baby oil, the hallway scene, and some other shit. You know? So it was 30 years in the making. You know? I don't even feel like it's over for him. Keep in mind, this is 2024. So, you know, next calendar year, next fiscal year, your man might get a W. I mean, shit, you never know what's going on in these streets. Like, it ain't, you know what I mean? It is what it is until it isn't. But this year has been the falling. This is, if y'all want to talk about Babylon falling, this is the falling of Babylon. Yo, something interesting happened a minute ago. I was talking about Mardi Gras, and I was like, yo, if anybody been to Mardi Gras, give me the breakdown. Give me, what do you see esoterically with Mardi Gras and Kendrick Lamar? And I really didn't, I got a lot of psychobabble. And then a person was saying, oh, Mardi Gras is a European thing. But then they said that they was at Mardi Gras hundreds of times. So I'm trying to put 1 and 2 together. If you was at Mardi Gras hundreds of times, but all of a sudden Mardi Gras is a European this, why were you there? I don't, what are you trying to say? Like, where's the science? You know what I'm talking about? I'm asking, give me some science. Like, can you see the connection? You feel me? Can you see the connection why Kendrick going to the Super Bowl in New Orleans? What does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, can you look past what they would call the mundane and see layers into this shit? 2024 was also a year that gave rise to these goofy trolls where they could get in front of these podcasts and literally say anything. And a lot of that began to exasperate around Diddy and whatnot. Diddy brought out a lot of weirdos. You know? Diddy brought out a lot of weirdos. Okay? Mardi Gras happening right after Super Bowl. Diddy brought out a lot of these. I was looking at a crystal ball, Sloan Bella, not to call her a weirdo. Right? Mardi Gras is black magic celebration. K-Dot is the hip hop magic. Good looking, Steven. You get it. That spell that they got on our people that emanates out of New Orleans, that spell that them white folks and them damn Peckerwoods, along with melanated people, put on our people in New Orleans and in the South and whatnot, yeah, something has to disrupt that. Something got to disrupt that. There has to be some type of that's the foundation of a lot of these dark spells. You know? "2024 exposed all of the goofy podcasts, all of the goofy journalists, all of the goofy people who hot takes is more fluffier than hot cakes, right? All of those people expose themselves in the Drake battle because they showed their Drake stand hand, right? And they were not able to break it down. They were not able to decipher all of the things that were taking place in the cultural significance of the cultural war. It was a cultural war. Kendrick, K-Dot, 1 versus 20 v1. It was him going against a lot of people in the industry, not just Drake. He was going against the Drake D-Riders. He was going against your Drake stands. He was going against the OV hoes. He was going against chat niggas. He was up against a lot. And he was up against everybody that was getting the Drake stimulus package. And they try to talk down on people like Kendrick because they call him a backpack rapper or a hotep nigga or whatever this shit that people have allowed to even linger in the culture. You feel me? Like the fact that y'all let people call you hotep nigga see your face, I don't like that for y'all. You know what I'm talking about? I do not like that for y'all. You know? Somebody says Super Bowl is not Mardi Gras. Whoever said that Super Bowl is Mardi Gras? See, that's what I'm saying. It's trolls in the audience that don't even, you feel me? Game of Thrones. Yeah. So the fact that Adam 22, the fact that Vlad, the fact that Mav Hoffa, the fact that these outlets, right, that are posing as journalists, they're posing as, experts on subject matter and whatnot, right? They claim to love hip hop and to give a journalistic, quote unquote, perspective on the culture. What do they wind up doing? The opposite. So you got Adam 22, you got Trap Law Ross, and you have my dude, what's his name? There's Adam 22, there's Vlad, there's Trap Law Ross, and then all of their other, all of the other clones of them, right? What are they doing? They're doing true crime, 1090 Jake, Swamp Stories. They're doing true crime, interrogation videos. They're creating dossiers for federal agencies, right? They're creating what? Dossiers for federal agencies, to the point where the videos, the dossiers are already being used in trials, murder trials, all up and down. So it's almost like the trash is taking itself out, because these people are falling into what are known as honey traps and whatnot. And these honey traps, or these honey pots, are trapping these quote unquote artists who want to just get up there and confess to crimes. Say cheese, you feel me? That, I would say, in 2024, that's a segment of YouTube that has not shown progression, it has not shown promise, and it has not necessarily shown its usefulness unless you are knee deep into what is known as true crime. Now, if you're in true crime, nobody can't necessarily take anything away from you, right? Because you literally, you want to see, you want to listen to criminals, speak about their criminal activity. We live in what is known as the information age. We also live in what is known as the attention economy. And people have figured out how to monetize the gaze, the stare. People, voyeurism, people watching you. So Vlad, Adam 22, and Trap Law Ross, along with a lot of other ones, they know all we have to do is turn the camera on and basically ask these supposed to be artists, right? Because the majority of the people are artists, right? But they're asking them about criminal activity. They're asking them about beefs. They're asking them about other people's beefs. So they're already violating some of the rules of media and journalism, whatnot. You don't involve somebody in another person's story, right? Another brand into another brand's brand story if that don't have nothing to do with you. So the fact that Vlad will have people up there, he'll be interviewing like a black comedian, and he's asking them, so what do you think about the moon landing and whatnot? And they'll be interviewing somebody that beat like 9 bodies, and they might be on trial, they might be on house arrest for 3 bodies and whatnot, and they like the littest drill rapper at the moment, And then Vlad will just do a beeline and be like, have you ever heard of Dr. Sebi curing anybody in Miami in the 1980s? Right? Like he'll ask him some random question that has nothing to do with the interview about topics and people in our community that they don't have anything to do with. Right? That's literally some of the shit that's going on. Adam 22, he's bringing different gangs from LA and around the world. He's flying in gang members from, he'll fly gang members in from Chicago, from the D, from New York, from Brooklyn, the Bronx. And then the interview style is interrogation. Once again, allowing felons to get on the internet and to confess the crimes, criminology, and all of these other things. Not, yo, what did you learn from your time in the streets? You know what I mean? What are you doing to what are you doing positively? None of that shit. None of that shit. The profiting of Black dysfunction, it doesn't sit right with me. You know, the prostituting of one's image, one's likeness, one's voice that some of these degenerates willingly are giving other degenerates, that doesn't sit right with me. You know, these are all hell's rejects getting together and just creating hell. And they're spreading that to the youth. I know in 2025, there's going to be a shift in this type of content, you know what I mean? And these type of characters, they will begin to dissipate and go somewhere, because, you know, you could do something for a while, but you can't do it forever. And yeah, we need real journalisms. We need true media channels, right? That are going to do true journalism. That will, because I'm not against learning anybody's story. I'm all with it all. You know what I mean? Everybody has, in this world of content and whatnot, there's a niche market for everybody. Everybody has the right to exist and the right to tell their stories and the right to be platformed. Not every single body, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying. However, the glorification, the edification, and then it's cognitive dissonance, because all of these platforms that these small hats are basically exploiting our people, right? There's a cognitive dissonance involved with it, because the minute somebody gets locked up like a Little Dirk, or the minute something goes super negative for one of these artists, these same platform owners, Adam 22, Trap Law Ross, DJ Vlad, they turn into judge, jury. You feel me? They turn into a bunch of hoes and start acting like they could point fingers and whatnot. And they can't. So shout out to all of the new channels that are rising up, that are having, you know, connections with their audience, with integrity, with good journalism. Yeah, shout out to those. We're gonna go over those when we do the roundup. We'll be able to give them their flowers and whatnot. We'll be able to give them their flowers. You know, firebomb to the chatty patties, firebomb to the chatty patties, and the trolls. Yeah, Ice Spice is looking like a crackhead. The ice has melted. You feel me? The ice has melted. I got the Ozempic up there. I got the Ozempic up there in the countdown of the year. I got the Ozempic up there. You know what I mean? Ozempic took a lot of ones. It took a lot of them down this year. You know what I'm talking about? That Ozempic was something else. You know? That was something else. Fat Joe said that Ozempic. Let me show you who you dealing with, so you stop getting mad at these Germans when they start talking out of the side of their neck and whatnot, because his mind ain't right as it is, and I'm gonna show you why. He's trolling, you know. He's trolling. Let me just show you where his mind is at. Give me 1 minute. Let me show you where homie's mind is at. Why you can't necessarily take him serious, because this is the same nigga. Same, right? Joey Crack, right? Joey Bonza, whatever the fuck. Fat Joe says Ozempic is the greatest invention ever and talks weight loss journey. Come on, fam. Like, for real? You gonna take that nigga serious? We arguing with him? I understand that that we could just use the publicity, right? That it's good publicity for the FBAs. Feel me? It's good publicity for the FBAs. But how are we gonna take this nigga serious? How is he a voice? How is he even a voice? I didn't even know that Fat Joe was a voice. But yeah, green light on Fat Joe. Eat his food. You know what I mean? Green light on Fat Joe. To keep it 1,000 with you, he don't fuck with niggas off the gates. He's that type of what we call Germans on Rikers. You know, he's that type of German. He don't fuck with niggas as it is. He's a convenient. He's a convenient ally, or he don't even see it as an ally, but it's out of convenience in certain situations. You know? And all of that just came to the surface. It's nothing new with the Fat Joe rhetoric. You feel me? It just came to the surface, and you know, I doubt that he'll back down from it. You feel me? He trying to pop collars. He's talking that rap shit. He think, you know what I'm talking about? He think that niggas is rappers still, and he's like, he think he a rap. You know, he was calling, the FBA. They some broke niggas. That's nigga rhetoric. You know, that's nigga rhetoric. That's not even, you know what I mean? Like, that's not even a viable rebuttal. So I don't know about Fat Joe. I think intellectually somebody should publicly whoop him out. You know what I mean? You know, I would say before even the hands and the mittens and whatnot. Before the hands and the mittens, he should get mollywopped and dog walked in a debate. You feel me? He should get mollywopped and dog walked in a debate. Somebody should just clean up the floor with him. You feel me? Make him a meme and whatnot. That's what I would like to see, because he one of them niggas with that jail information. He think he's so smart. He'll talk down to the intellects amongst them. He'll make it seem like, you know, having knowledge of self, even though he comes from that era in New York where that shit was present. Like it was you know what I mean? It was in your face. So him and Lord Jamar, the God, they're gonna lock horns and whatnot. That's the debate right there. Because he was trying to talk slick and whatnot. That's the debate right there. He might as well go and see Lord Jamal. No name calling, no dirt throwing, none of that. Just get to the knowledge. You feel me? Just get to the knowledge and shoot it out. You know? Yeah, he gonna talk tough. He gonna talk tough. Like I said, the best way to quiet him up is you're gonna have to West Huff his ass. You know what I'm talking about? West Huff his ass, cause his name is Joey Crack. You know, and it's 2024. You know, and he's trying to be a moral voice or a voice of reason, and your name is Joey Crack, my nigga. Like, the fuck. But yeah, that's the latest in that clown situation. You know, Mav Hoffa, man. Mav Hoffa. 2024 wasn't your year, King. It wasn't your best year in the realm of, yo, give me the big three of the podcast for 2024, y'all. Did they have like those rappers on a show? Who the big three for 2024? Let me hear from the audience. Who's the big three? I used to rate Mav Hoffa, but them interviews are not hitting the same, King. You know, them interviews ain't hitting the same. For real. When you first popped out, I was fucking with it. You feel me? You had the right little combination. I seen you with Knowledge to God at first. That's why I was locked in. And even when you switched up the roster, it was working. But when you start getting rid of niggas on some Joe Budden shit, you know, I can't get with that. It's not vibrating with me like that. Yeah, I fuck with Bag Fuel. I tap in with them. Thought Crimes, yeah, they doing work. I tap in with them occasionally. Heavy on the Drink Champs. Yeah, I didn't go back to the Drink Champs after the jump off. After the Yeezy shit, it didn't hit me. Yeah, I like Back on Fig. Ain't no top. These niggas gassed out with the beef interviews. They took the bag over integrity. You feel me? Just say, excuse me, Joe, you can't say nigga in my shop nor call Black Americans broke, respectively. Now, respectfully speaking, on some New York shit, Spanish people say nigga like we say nigga. There's no you can't say nigga with the Spanish people in New York. Respectfully, you know what I mean? That's just respectfully. That's not how the culture is set up. They say nigga. It's you know, this new nigga that y'all caught on with outside of New York is like, that's not they just saying New York lingo. That's how they talk. That's why they talk. If you work for the Illuminati or the Masons, one or the other. You know what I mean? Yeah, Gilly, $1 million worth of game. Yeah. I've been, you know, it's the same effect. You know what I mean? It's the same effect that some of these other shows. It doesn't hold me the same anymore. Drink Champs don't hold me. Gilly and Wallow don't hold me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not with that format right now. It's almost like cookie cutter. I know what I'm going to hear. Because some of the podcasts is going to give you pure chatty patty, pure, you know, hot tea and whatnot. Pure, you know. Then the other podcast is going to give you beef. Like niggas, yo, who killing who don't like who arguing today, who got exposed, feel me, who shooting at who. There's segments in the back streets of YouTube for that. A whole cottage industry. Then if you want to hear some freaky shit, like if you want to hear X-rated shit in a verbal form, like there's a lot of podcasts for that. You know what I'm talking about? There's a lot of shit for that. You know what I mean? There's a whole lot of horny YouTube. You feel me? There's a whole lot of horny YouTube out there. You feel me? It's a rabbit hole of that. You know? It's a rabbit hole for that. But it's just, it's man, it ain't doing it for me, bro. Nobody ain't talking about nothing. You know? It's watch the party die for me, bro. That's 2024 in a nutshell. It's really watch the party die. Like my observation is not looking at this stuff for enjoyment or pleasure anymore. It's literally looking at it as I watch it die. You know? My observation of it, the way I'm looking at it in its decline. Nigga, Party City closed down and the party's officially dead, my nigga. You feel me? The party's over. The party's over. You feel me? Offset and Cardi's over. Hey. Party done, y'all. You know? Like I said, Donald Trump's America is not necessarily going to cater to the same type of energies that Joe Biden's America catered to. You feel me? It's going to be a different type of energy out there, and things are somewhat going to shift. You feel me? Things are going to shift in a direction that you would want to be prepared to go in. I don't want you to be in the opposite direction when things shift and you go in the wrong direction. You do not want to go in the wrong direction, because the wrong direction is going to be wild uncomfortable. Look, it's 2025 strive, and then it's 2025 staying alive, trying to survive. Record year for CEO resignations, 2024. They're going back to the white supremacist vibe. This time only that you're about to see in this administration, the new energy along with white supremacy, right, is going to be what? Neo-fascist Christendom. Neo-fascist Christendom. So they're about to get in their crusader bag something serious. Understand what you see when you see it. You feel me? And don't get offended and whatnot, and don't take shit personal. But they're about to get in their crusader bag something serious and whatnot. This whole shit is about to go super biblical, and Christian in a way that it doesn't serve you any purpose. You know? In that way. Unless you conform, unless you a converso, unless you allow them to make you bend the knee, right? Because that's what a lot of people are going to be doing and they already started doing it. It's called kissing the ring. It's called bending the knee. It's called allowing someone to baptize you into their culture, or what do you call their heritage and whatnot, bring you into the fold and whatnot. This has happened to our people on numerous occasions. So this flock that you see where people are running back to the church, what do you think that's all about? 2024, you saw a record number amounts of people returning to, right, the church, returning to the religion, right, returning to become a crusader. Okay. And then you've also saw a record number of people embracing Islam and the Quran and Allah. So there's a shift taking place on multiple sides. People are choosing sides and they're picking sides and they're going into corners and whatnot, and they're locking in. And they're locking in. So we have to begin to identify what our role in this whole situation is going to be, because as it takes form, they're going to be talking spicy. It's going to look like armies are rising up around you. It's going to be very militant minded, the way that these Europeans are going to start moving like crusaders, like they're getting ready for war. You understand? Like they're getting ready for a grand war and whatnot. Denzel Washington got baptized, for crying out loud, and became ordained. Like, this is something that I see, being propagandized by the powers that be, who need this type of conflict. At the end of the day, you always know that there's a hidden hand behind this shit, moving things around and whatnot and making things happen. And in this situation, I would say, Is It Real has their hand in all of the global fuckery that you see taking place on a global scale. There's always somebody's hands in it that's locked in with that fake state, or that quote unquote rogue state, right? 2024 was the year that Is It Real was named a rogue state, and they put out an arrest warrant on their prime minister, unprecedented and whatnot. This is the year that they lost the war of public opinion. Is It Real lost the war of public opinion in the eyes of the world, not just the people. I don't even know who the people is. The eyes of the world turned their backs on Is It Real and begin to see them, newer generations, right? Not just the old heads that seen these people become savages and then allowed that shit to carry on and to fester, and then really chose to turn a cheek on it. Project Pat became a motherfucking preacher. You feel me? There is a revival of the church. It's not something that I wanted to necessarily champion. It's not something that, but who am I? Who the hell am I? Right? I'm identifying what I'm witnessing. I'm showing up. I'm not going to, because some people will be so biased that they'll refuse to even speak about what it is that they're witnessing. I'm not. I'm going to bring all of the information to the front of the class, and then we're going to break it down. You feel me? We're going to break it down. We'll dissect it. We'll unpack it and whatnot. You feel me? We'll unpack it. But I'm seeing a lot of our people and a lot of people in general, becoming more crusader minded. And in this Christo-fascism government that we're moving into and whatnot, they're going to entice weak-minded individuals who would give themselves away as collateral damage and whatnot, just to fight for something. You know what I mean? Just to be the front line, just to sacrifice for something that they're going to be, you know, in a zealous way, they're going to be programmed to believe that this is something worth dying for, right? The cult that you see surrounding Trump and whatnot could become somewhat of the base for it. These evangelical Christians and whatnot, these Christian Zionists in the USA, you know, they are also some of the base who, you know, these are bloodthirsty, warmongering bases that we're talking about. And they got deep pockets, you know, and they got deep pockets. No, and it's not the poor white. No, that's the second layer that he has. That's the second layer that he has. There's layers that come before that, and that's not. I'm not talking about the poor whites and what they call the white trash, right? Do we have black trash, people? Do we have black trash? Because I know that we identify with white trash, but do we have black trash? Is that something that we could collectively agree to or disagree with? That we produce a culture, or rather a subculture called black trash. And black trash is being used to define all of us. You know? It's being used as a template to be like, yeah, this is where they come from. This is what they on. This is what they about. This is what they fuck with. Right? Black trash. So let's check this thing out real quick on Drizzy Drake. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna play this clip real quick. I gotta go. I'm gonna have to evaluate the trifecta: P. Diddy, Drake, right, and the Democrats. The Democratic Party with your homegirl Kamala at the head of it, and Joe Biden right behind her. Sean Combs, Brother Love, or Aubrey Graham, aka Champagne Poppy. Who took the biggest L? Who's gonna take home the golden L? Well, check this out. They got taken this year. There was no bigger hit that got taken this year than the takedown of Aubrey Graham, right? This was the Goliath that fell. 2024 will go down in history as the year that his reign came to an end. You know what I mean? Y'all could go ahead and tuck him in and put him to sleep and whatnot. You feel me? The reign of the Scorpion, Drake, Aubrey Graham, came to a screeching halt in 2024. You understand? It came to a screeching halt. We'll never be the same. We'll never go back to what it was. Your superpowers are being neutralized. This man, right, had an intricate relationship with all of these guys right here. You understand? And even more. Not to take anything away from your favorite artist, Aubrey Graham and whatnot, but we got to point out some of the subtleties that people tend to gloss over and not recognize, because this nigga's light skinned. He has his hands in a lot of shit that he has no business in. You feel me? He's not that type of character. He's not built like that. And if this whole battle this year didn't show you that, then that might explain why you make a lot of horrible decisions with the squares that you got around you. Because you know, A blind man can see this shit, but you probably can't. Right? So we all know the story about what had happened. We're not even going to get into that. What we're going to get into is what it means, right? That's what we're going to get into. What does it ultimately mean? Why does people, why is his name continuously resurfacing in the news cycle with an L attached to it? This nigga got more L's than Google got in his name, bro. I'm trying to explain to you. He's taking a lot of L's. He's taking a lot of L's. Spotify just came out the other day and was like, boy, if you don't stop, you know what I'm talking about? If you don't stop playing with us, shit. If you know what I'm talking about? If you don't stop playing with us, he's not gonna be able to work in that town again. He's not gonna be able to work in that town the same way he did. The emperor has no clothes, right? Underestimated his opponent. Did not take the loss, right? Like he does when he gambles. He did not take the loss like he does when he loses in gambling. So the fact that he did not want to take the L and the ego got in the way, then you've seen the greatest meltdown in all of music history. The greatest crash out in all of hip hop history. It's not taking the first L, it's adding the last L to your name, because it's not necessarily the fact that you could take an L in life, because we all take L's. It's what do you do after you take the L? Do you make it worse or do you fix things? Yeah, so that's the whole Drake thing. I'm gonna do one for Diddy and I'm gonna do one for the Democrats, and then we'll do a sound clash. See which one is hitting the hardest. You feel me? We're gonna see which one of them is hitting the hardest, because there was some L. There was, man, they all major L's. They are all majors. But let's go to the W side. Let's go and look at the label of the year. I gave an assessment for the label of the year, hip hop label, that is. Commercial, shout out to all of the independent labels. Salute to y'all. This is the commercial label that I gave the coveted award of label of the year to. Check it out. Emerges as label of the year that comes out of all of this fracas, that emerges as a quote unquote powerhouse, that emerges as the new sound, the new label to look at, emerges victorious, right, as a protectorate. Because keep in mind, Kendrick Lamar is not signed to TDE, but during the war, you would never know, because you did not see PG Lang's CEO on Twitter holding down Kendrick. Who was it? Punch from TDE, who was continuously surrounding Kendrick to shield him. TDE, who was standing up and saying, look, if he going, I'm going. TDE, right? They stood with Kendrick through the whole war. You would never know that he wasn't on the label. And it doesn't hurt that they put out a bunch of classics this year. So first and foremost, SZA, even though she didn't come out this year, but she dominated this year based off of her quote unquote, now her deluxe that she just dropped, this fire, and her guest appearances with Kendrick, classic. And then you had Schoolboy Q with the Blue Lips album, fire, right? Fire. That shit blew me away. I'm not the biggest fan of Ab-Soul's new album, but for some people, fire. And then of course, Dolce who they're saying is the next superstar. All eyes on Dolce. She came out. She shocked the world. She's Grammy nominated. People are talking about her like she's the next one. And then, of course, you got K Dot. And let's not even mention the other artists that didn't come out this year. But TDE is the label of the year. They got it. In my humble opinion. You feel me? There's other contenders, and we'll cover that in the quote unquote review. But they got the number one. They get the crown. They get the quote unquote medal for this year. And what? If I were you and you never heard of these artists, I would go listen to them in succession. You know, the album that I named. Don't go and listen to the fucking catalog. We're talking about that label of the year based off of the collective output of the label, and that would be in the form of their projects. And then I'm calling Kendrick, I'm TDE in my humble opinion. I know he got PD Lang and all of that, PG Lang, but this war with homie, this was a TDE Kendrick war. And you know, and he roofed that nigga. You feel me? He roofed him. And he roofed them in a way that we needed this nigga to be roofed in order to move into a newer space where true artistry, true lyricism, just a whole bunch of shit, a lot of values got restored if you go with the whole theory that certain rappers and what their values are and what their moral compass is and what their archetype represents, that could be transferred onto others, right? So Doechii is into, you know, I think Doechii is bisexual, right? So, you know, yeah, you know, she's you know, she's into that type of thing. Does that take away from her artistry? Does that take away from the fact that she's running circles around, you know, coochie rap, not coochie rap, coochie rap? You know, she talks slick in her music as well. I seen artistry. You feel me? I didn't take a deep dive into her closet. You know, I'm not a voyeur into her world like that. I know a lot of girls are out here eating box, you know what I mean? And that has nothing to do with me. You know, these are decisions that they make. Is SZA into shit like that too? You know what I mean? I know that she be up on. I don't know none of that. You have to ask women that are into stuff like that what's going on in that world. You feel me? I know that there's some of their music that I resonate with, that I fuck with, that I hear, and I'm like, okay, this is a bop. But yeah, TDE label did it. Held them down. They held one of their former label mate. That even is more honorable. Held down their former label mate. Was able to have really no L's in the whole situation. They didn't do goofiness. You feel me? They didn't do goofiness. They didn't do no missteps and whatnot. They wasn't tripping all over themselves. You feel me? And they held him down the way that he needed to be held down. So yeah, I fucks with it. You know what I mean? QC, I told y'all that was the worst label this year, in my humble opinion. They caught the coveted L, the wooden L. Yeah, horrible label. You know what I mean? Horrible. Just based off of the duds. You know what I mean? The fact of where they were 5 years ago to where they are now. And yeah, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Labels come and labels go. Labels come and labels go. But yeah, Mr. P. Diddy, we're going to do a video on him tonight. I'm going to chop this up and I'm going to put some visuals to it. I would say that in my humble opinion, yeah, this was, you know, this has far-reaching implications. Just outside of if he snitches, just outside of whatever, you know, just the overall turn of events, you know. You know what I mean? That was a lot. Somebody said poor Carisha searching for a new cape. Yeah. More salacious news coming out in 2025 for Sean Combs. It will still be one of those dominant news stories leading up to, what is that, May, when he goes to trial? So leading up to May, they're going to start revisiting this whole fiasco and whatnot. And I'm sure leading up to May, there's going to be different news stories that are going to be dropping, leaks and whatnot, and you know, things of that nature. I do hope that all of the, because think about it, if I was somebody that knew shit about Diddy, I would have already said, I would have already got booked for the interview, and I would have already dropped my motherfucking hot tea before 2024 was over. So any breaking news, it got to be breaking news. Like it has to be some shit that happened with him personally. But all of that, yo, I'm about to reveal some. No, nigga, and Cat Williams year of 2024, nigga, that was your day and time to get on the blue couch or say something. And I don't want to hear none of that shit in 2025. There's no more Diddy stories. You understand? There's no more none of that shit, please, because y'all had y'all year. They were paying big bags for you niggas to get up there and start story time and whatnot. You know what I mean? Do not bring that into 2025. Leave all of that shit. You feel me? I bid you farewell, Jaguar, Gene Deal, my nigga, until of course the trial begins. But the vacation is gonna be a long one, and I hope y'all niggas is on. I know they had the cruise liner that went around for 4 years until Trump gets out of office. Y'all buy them a ticket on that or something. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all buy them a ticket on that. But I do know that it's still Operation Takedown Hove and whatnot. Niggas gonna form Voltron and make sure that happens. So it ain't over. But wrap it up. You know what I'm talking about? Wrap that shit up. It ain't but so many exclusives y'all gonna drop. Wrap it up. You know? Fat Joe versus SBA. Yeah, make it a boxing ticket. Put it on a ticket with the boxing shit. I don't know. West Side Gun got the wrestling shit. Make it a wrestling match. Make it a rap battle. Put it on Smack. I want to see Fat Joe versus Loaded Lux or FBA nigga. Fat Joe versus Tariq Nasheed rap battle. Set it up. You know what I'm saying? Turn that into a bag. That's what 2025 is telling me. You know what I mean? Don't waste none of this shit on frivolousness. Turn it into a bag because content is king, and that's with an A. Content is king. K-A-N-G. It's not just king. Content is king, nigga. King the Conqueror, time traveler, multiple versions, multiple variants. You understand? You could turn pieces of content into 100 different other pieces and whatnot. Content is king, nigga. Your content could grow legs in a universe that's not even one of your own, go viral, and send you a bag back. Yeah, we got Techno Tuesdays coming up later on. Techno Tuesdays is going to be tonight with my good brother Spence City. For all of my blurs, all of my nerds, all of my creators, all of y'all, the people who belong to the fantasy complex industry. Techno Tuesdays. The name techno means technology, right? So Techno Tuesdays. So if that's not your thing, we'll see you on Third Eye Thursdays, right? That makes sense, right? So Techno Tuesdays are for my techies, and I will see you there tonight. You know, so content is king. Please make more content in 2025. But it's not just simple making content. You have so many things that come with content because content is part of a new economy. And with new economies come new rules, paperwork, licensing, all kind of shit. You know, all kind of shit. So I would say, really, yo, look into that. Look into content, look into content creation, look into the content creators. If you one of those self-proclaimed geniuses and you have a lot to offer, right? Get with editor, get with a content creating team and whatnot, and turn your knowledge or your knowledge base into some form of teachable educational content. Even if you create skits and whatnot, and you want to interject your knowledge or your understanding or your wittiness or anything, content is king. Moving forward, when we have this grand opening on the 31st, right, in Atlanta, we have a grand opening. I'll play the commercial in a minute. You know, we're basically we're gonna have a content creation agency, right? Like an AI village and whatnot. And we're gonna be bringing people from all around the world to do workshops, to do seminars, to do quote unquote week-long projects where we're working on multiple projects, not just one, multiple projects. The creator economy is real. The creator economy is here to stay. The creator economy is in front of us, and it's alive, right? So it's time for us to tap in and to plug into it and to tap into that currency of that current and be able to charge ourselves up just using your imagination or your skill sets, because there's people out here that done went to school for all kind of things. They certified in all kind of things. And you might not even realize, right, how much, how qualified that you are with what you already have done, with your certifications for what you've already gotten, how qualified you are to tap into the creator economy. Okay. And really make you feel, and I ain't talking about surviving. 2025, we talking about striving. I am not talking about surviving. 2025, we talking about striving, not surviving, not being on the bottom of Maslow's pyramid, going up this pyramid and whatnot. But like I said, there's formulas where people are using content to strive. Imagine if you're making content and you're getting $40,000 a month just from making content, just from using your imagination, just from turning your camera on and a light on outside of the other things that you do. Come on now. We gotta really, we have to take a true assessment about the times that we're living in and the opportunities that are looking at us right in our face and whatnot, while we choose to beat ourselves like the Passion of Christ. You know them people that's so religious and they so zealot and whatnot that they be whooping themselves. That's how we be doing ourselves. We be whooping ourselves. You feel me? Beating ourselves down and whatnot. You know, always putting ourselves in this place. And we got to break out of that shit. That 2025, we are here to strive. You understand? And this shit is going to arrive early and whatnot. Opportunity is here. This shit is here. I promise you. You know what I'm talking about? I promise you. So salute to everybody who are using 2024 as the year to get ready, as the year to prepare, as the year to survive. Because goddamn it, if this year wasn't about surviving, I don't know what year was. I got my ass kicked this year, bro. I got mollywhopped by the ancestors this year. You feel me? I went through the dark night of the soul 10 times. Damn it. You feel me? It was the Jason months. That nigga Jason was chasing me every month with the meat cleaver. Okay. Real talk. This year was not one to play with, and it was going fast. It was like a fast horror movie. You know? It was like a quantum horror movie, bro. But we're here now. I feel the reckoning amongst us. Some Green Mile type shit took place with me over the strong end. I don't want to talk about it because it's one of those things where you get where the ancestors bliss you or give you a blessing, and you're not necessarily supposed to speak about it on air in the public type shit to the public. You could talk to people privately about it, but I can't speak on it because I want those blessings to still come to me. But I'm just here to let you know that like magical shit is taking place right now type shit. You feel me? Like in the now, in the presence. Like we have to be very mindful of that. I promise you. It's very demure. You know what I'm talking about? Very demure. You know what I mean? And it's like miracles are happening. I'll just say it like that. Like magic shit is taking place type shit. You know what I'm talking about? You know, the ancestors are smiling upon us. You feel me? The ancestors are conspiring for our success. But what do we have to practice? Restraint, a little bit of discipline. You can't be all over the place. You can't be just blowing in the wind type shit. You have to be, you gotta be foundated in what it is that you want. A lot of these uh retrogrades have come to an end. The some of these pages are turning and whatnot. You feel me? So it literally is on us right now to push this shit into the new fiscal year. Cause I know the new year start when the birds start chirping, my nigga. I looked outside today. The grass has a buzz cut and the shit is brown. You know what I mean? I know that we're in the underworld. However, it's still a ritual. The solstice came and I didn't get invited to none of y'all parties and whatnot. So people is always talking about when the New Year's this or when this holiday. But nigga, the solstice was literally on the 21st and it wasn't no mass celebration. I didn't see nobody giving out gifts and whatnot. You feel me? It wasn't no Twitch 24 marathons. You niggas didn't have the Twitchathon. You feel me? With Casanet. You know what I mean? Y'all didn't have a subathon during the solstice. Yo, who's the top three? Who the big three of consciousness for 2024? Who's the big three of consciousness for 2024? I'm wondering. We gonna get right for the for the fiscal year. So once again, when the New Year's comes, when the New Year's, when the new comes, we be right. You feel me? We're going through the winter, my nigga. We're going through the underworld. We're going through the real dark night of the soul. He said red, blue, and KT. Who's the big three in consciousness right now? Because now you could take an assessment and you know, I'm just asking the question. Red, blue, 19 keys. Okay. Mentos 3.5. Okay. You know, okay. I just want to know. I'm taking a toll. Red Pillar, B Dell, Rod Hayes. Well, that's crazy. That I'm honored by that lineup. Radiohead, the pill. Yo. I'm smitten. You know, I'm smitten by what I'm reading and whatnot. Billy Carson and the Big Three. Okay. Rod Hayes, Young Elder, Phase One. Okay. B Dell, Rich Rod. Okay. The Pillars, Sister Myra. Okay. Seven Bomar, KTL, Black Magic 363, Urban X. Shout out to the Urban X family. I believe Malcolm welcomed a new God into the world. You know what I mean? A new life into this realm. Salute to him and his queen and his family. And Black Dot. You know what I mean? The legacy continues. Savon Bomar. The brother has an app called Symbol AI. And I highly suggest y'all go ahead and download that on your phones. It's in the App Store. It's better than all of that shit that's out there. Hands down. It's the conscious chat GPT. Go get that. The Pillars, Brother Rich, Red Blue, Anu Asaru. Yo, this is a fire lineup. This is a fire lineup, you know. K Dot took consciousness and made it cool. Red Blue 19, West Huff, Savon Bomar, Q Reeves, Red Pill, AA Griff. Okay. PBT, TBA, Tyreek. Shout out to Tyreek Nasheed and with the FBA, what they doing and what they standing on. And yeah, I appreciate, you know, you feel me? Mm-hmm. Who do I think? I say B Dell, KT, B Dell, KT, and Rod Hayes. I'm very impressed by Rod Hayes. You know, I pray for that brother. You feel me? You know, and my prayer for him is one of longevity. That's what it is. You know, pray that he's around long because the people deserve more of him. The people deserve his insight. You feel me? His downloads. You know, damn. They said the big three losers: Aquarius Maximus, Bill Carson, and Sarnetta. You know, that's coming from the chat. You know, we gotta report everything to the family. The Pillars, Rod and Seven. Q as honorable mention. Yeah, shout out to Q Reeves cooking. Me and Q did something this year. We put that on a Barbie. We cooked it up. You know, yeah, we chefed it up, and it was a complete plate. Shout out to Baba Taj Tariq Bey. We did a classical show with him and whatnot. That was fire. Shout out to Dr. B Serious. I saw him this summer doing this thing. Shout out to Asir the Duke of Tears. I got to see Asir in the Gathering of the Masters, which goes down on my year in review as my W. It was the top experience of the year for me. There's a lot of shit this year happened. A lot of shit. And I've been a lot of places. And that's the top experience of my year was my good brother, whatchamacallit, Gathering of the Masters. Yeah. Brother Rich, the Gathering of the Masters. I had no idea that it was going to turn out the way that it did. I promise you. I had no idea. You feel me? And that shit turned out to be like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Whoa. Blew my mind, blew my expectations, blew everything away that I thought that I knew. You feel me? It did. It really did. So yeah. Shout out to that gathering because it showed me more so than anything. Because sometimes you'll be at home on the internet, mad at yourself, mad at niggas, mad at the internet, mad at just whatever. But when you have one of those IRL events where people literally got to be around each other in real life and show up around each other in real life and just link up, like, what are we talking about? You feel me? What's really good? That's where the magic takes place. That's where you really see it happen. That's where, yeah, that's where it really made sense. Like, yo, this is really a community. The people are here. They're real. This ain't some NPC shit. The people are really real. This ain't no bot shit. You feel me? Like, this is not no faceless channel type of energy. The people were real. They were really touching hands. You feel me? I got to hug Sister Myra. You feel me? I got to look everybody, all of the teachers in their eyes instead of seeing them on a phone and whatnot. That meant a lot. You know what I mean? That meant a lot, bro. And yeah. You feel me? It was interesting. It was definitely interesting. Yeah, shout out to Top Cats. Shout out to all of the shout out to Yaki. You know what I mean? Shout out to Erin, Sister Erin. Shout out to Sharif. Shout out to the Islam, to my good brother Sharif Anail Bey. Shout out to Wesley Muhammad. Yeah, man. It's interesting. It's interesting. You know, gathering of the masters. That's all we really need. If anybody ever tries to be like, yo, they're gonna try to walk me down and be like, y'all niggas don't be ever doing anything. It's just talk. What are we gonna do now? I'm just pointing to the gap. Look, if you could turn that 2-day weekend into a 2-year lease, that's the solution right there. That's why I push facts: food, art, clothes, technology, shelter. We focus on those 5 areas, then we're gonna start winning immediately. It's a no-brainer. The food, because we all gotta eat. The art, because art runs this shit. Art runs the world. Clothes, we all need clothes. Technology, we in the technology era. The evolution will be digitized. Shelter, everybody needs a roof over their head, and real estate is the real estate. So we focus on those categories. Niggas can't lose, but you can't do it individually. You got to do it as a collective. That's what the gathering of the masters, showed us. It's not about one or two of us. It's about all of us. And we could live amongst one another and be at peace with one another. Do you know how many competing egos was in the building that day? Do you know how many competing egos were in the building that day? That on paper, they were not supposed to be in the same room with each other. But none of that stuff mattered at the end of the day because the power was in that moment and everybody took advantage of it. You feel me? Year of the wood snake. Year of the wood snake. So we learned a lot. We learned a lot, And we're going to learn more, because one of the great things about these times that we're living in is nobody can never say that they wasn't in class. My genius, life is class and we're all in it. You can't never say that, oh, I miss class. Nigga, if you miss class, then they planning for you awake, nigga. That's the only way that you gonna miss class. If you here right now, we all are in class. This is literally class. The universe is the university. We all in class right now. 2024, we literally were all in class together watching class clowns and other teachers failed their quiz, failed their exams, failed their quote unquote lessons, because it's all about the lessons and how do you react to the lessons that are being given to you, right? This year was filtered with people who did not know how to basically take a loss and pure showmanship, right? One of the reasons why, if 3 months ago I was asking people for their top three and whatnot, Billy Carson's name would have been mentioned many more times than it was mentioned today, right? That just goes to show you that there were some true missteps that took place in that scenario that dealt with more than just one loss. It was more than just one loss that took place. There were multiple losses, right? There were multiple losses in that one situation. They could have just been one loss, could have just been one L, but it turned into like three of them, you know? But before it was all said and done, it was about three L's. It was LLL Cool J. And the whole thing with Diddy, you know, the way that he handled his shit, the way that he was able to deflect and try to, you know, what they call it at, gaslight his way through shit. Yeah, that didn't even work out either. You feel me? That tape dropped on his ass, and then the boys was descending. They swooped on his residence and whatnot. Did the extraction. You feel me? Got all of that evidence, and then boom, slapped the motherfucking Tiffany bracelets on him, and it was off to the bang, you know, and it was off to the bang. And he's going to still have a grip on things. He's still going to have a say in things, but it'll never be the same. The stocks have fallen. This shit is like GameStop. You feel me? The stocks have fallen. It'll never be the same. It will never be that same stock. It will either shoot through the roof, you know what I mean? And if he ever gets acquitted of anything, his name is forever smeared, because he'll just be accused of paying his way out of jail. They'd be like, somebody got bribed and whatnot. It can't be. It's impossible. You know what I mean? He's guilty of everything that he's being charged with. And to be honest with you, the hammer didn't even drop on him yet. They didn't even release the super side. The hammer didn't even drop on Diddy yet. They just got him in the motherfucking trapped in a cage. They just have him, you know, in purgatory. But they setting up for the killing of the king, you know? So it is what it is. Bill could have gotten killed, especially in Florida. Bill Cosby, you speak of? Is that who you speak of, Bill Cosby? Well, one of the things that I want to speak about for my musical purists that are out there is the underground of hip hop. And the big W, the underground hip hop, was able to garner in 2024. Right? Rock Marciano, La Russell, .38 Special, Mac Hami, right? Stove Guard. These are not all of them. Conway the Machine, Ransom, Planet Asia, .38 Special, right? Phase One, he should be up there as well, right? Well, I'm doing one for the consciousness. They don't go up here. I'm doing one for consciousness, and I'm gonna put the brother there. Brownsville Ka, right? The resurrection and the resurgence of the independent artist, the successful independent artist at that, right? The one who is able to sell a vinyl for $999, a number of them. That's what the good brother Mark Hami was able to do. He was able to sell his vinyl direct to customer for $999, and it was only not more than that because Bandcamp doesn't allow higher than $999. But he put it up. He put it on $999, and he sold multiple units. You have other artists that are selling vinyl for way cheaper, of course. You know what I mean? They're selling cassettes. They're even selling CDs, right? They're selling out merch. Okay. Shout out to Westside Gun, who resurrected and pioneered this new wave of record labels and artists and whatnot that are basically their merch is like a whole clothing line, right? It's to the level of clothing line aesthetics and whatnot, streetwear aesthetics. And he's commissioning famous artists like Virgil and others to do his album and sustain, and also the merch, right? So these people are proof to show you that the art, right, is alive and it's here to stay, right? They're running the Nipsey play, Proud to Pay and whatnot. La Russell picked up the Nipsey play where he is showing you that you could be an artist and you don't have to be signed to a major. You don't have to give up your publishing. You don't have to sell your soul and whatnot. You could be an outlier and you could be drawing outside of the lines and still win, right? So shout out to all of my artists because this is a very art friendly platform. We advocate for the artists to win. You feel me? We advocate for independence. We are one of those artists as well. We're recording artists, and we're not about, we don't push selling your soul and getting signed and getting put on somebody's quote unquote tax write-off. None of that. Yeah, La Russell is different. He's definitely different. He's laying out a blueprint. So there are ways to eat that was not available years ago for independent artists. This year in 2024, the independent labels, they were neck and neck with the majors and whatnot, putting up a lot of numbers. So they're here to stay. I highly suggest that if you are an artist, you get you some A&Rs. You work on your outfit, you work on your uniform, you work on your character, you work on your style and whatnot, your design language, your artistry. We got enough rappers. We need more artists. Real talk. We need more artists. We need more performers, and we need more artists, and we need more people who are quote unquote what they will call multiple talented people, right? Those people who have multiple skill sets and whatnot, polyglots. You feel me? Polyglots. We need, yeah, we don't need more rappers. We need more MCs. We need more artists, because it just don't have to be rap. We need more artists. We need more artists to come behind some of these rappers or MCs and help them develop their brand and help them to develop their artistry and help them develop their quote unquote design language. So you see how Kendrick, he has a design language. He has artistry to his design. He's not wearing just anything, right? He's not wearing, he pops out and does the pop out. They're like, what is he wearing? What kind of sneakers is he wearing? What kind of jeans are those? What is his top? They're dissecting every single item that he has could be sold on TikTok Shop or one of those places because people want to look just like him. Just like him. They want to look just like him. They want to mimic his style. They want to mimic his design language. So then when he pops up on a new album, he's in front of a 1980s car. He's rocking baggy jeans, right? Not the tight jeans. He's wearing items with no quote unquote. Yeah, he does wear a lot of Martine Rose. He's wearing the items with no logos on it and shit like that. He got the shoes instead of the sneakers on. He's giving you an aesthetic, a style that you're going to see people mimic, because that's what these superstars, not rappers. We're not talking about rappers in a sense. We're talking more so about a superstar, somebody who's able to shift whole industries just on how you dress type shit. That's a lot of, no one man should have all that power. That's a lot of power. Playboy Cardi has power like that. Some of these artists right here, Westside Gunn, he's highly influential style wise and stuff like that. So yeah, these are the independent artists that I'm showing you that made a lot of noise in 2024, not 23, 22, 20. This was a lot of their stellar years in this industry. Okay, this was their stellar years. All right, so with that being said, man, this is a great way to continue the countdown leading up to the 30th. One of the highlights of tonight's show was being able to vote with the KT aliens in the audience. Y'all were able to give us your insight and your intake, and that meant a lot. I was able to extract some powerful data. I'm really feeling y'all for that. Appreciated that. You know what I mean? We'll do more of that leading up to the 30th. So everything is right and exact. You know what I mean? I'm even going to put a poll up in the community so we can start voting. I'm going to put a poll. So look out for that. Shout out to all of the super chats. I appreciate y'all. The super stickers, the super chats. Salute to everybody for dropping off the super chat and showing us love. Shout out to everybody from buymeacoffee.com/know the ledger 444. We got a whole community over there. It's like a family over there. When this whole series is over with, we'll have the study guides in the store on Buy Me a Coffee. We even have the tickets for sale for the 30th on Buy Me a Coffee. We also have the ticket sales for the New Year's Eve celebration and the quote unquote day party where we'll be having a grand opening. Let's go to that commercial for that real quick. All right, let's check that out. We'll get up out of here.
Peace to you and yours, brother Blue Port, live and direct. We are here at the Bookstore Gallery Studios. We want to let you know that we have a day party for New Year's Eve coming up. That's from 2 to 7, $3.99. You can slide through for the day party for the debut of the Bookstore Gallery. That is on New Year's Eve. All right. Then afterwards, we have a paid party that is from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. And you can get your tickets for that on rsvp.com. And we look forward to seeing you. Peace, love, and light.
Yeah, so if you didn't hear what he said, on Tuesday the 31st, we will be opening up our doors 488 Edgewood Avenue, right there in Atlanta, right next to the MLK Historical Preserve, and also the Ebenezer Church. We're in that same area on Boulevard in Edgewood. We're going to be having a soft opening in the daytime from the hours of 2 to 7, and that's free. You just have to RSVP. All right. You put your name on the list and you'll be able to pull up. We'll have food, we'll have vendors, we'll have music, we'll have everything that you need to basically enjoy your day and to celebrate and to unwind. And then we're going to have a paid ticket event from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. The dress code is fresh code. All right. Be in your fresh mode. That's the dress code. And that's going to take place from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. And that's at the same space that we have 488 Edgewood. And we'll have food and drinks. We're going to be having food. We got 420. We're going to have entertainment. It's going to be lit. All right. So if you want to celebrate this fiscal year, the end of this fiscal year, and bring in a new one, we'll see you in the building. We'll see you in the building. And we look forward to seeing you in the building. So all of the links are in the description and you'll be able to tap in. Let's get a word from Ross Ben before we get out of here. Peace. All right. As we do every year, we are going to be doing this year again. Our good brother Ross Ben will be returning to do a 2024 year in review. And simultaneously, we're going to be visualizing the 9-year, which is 2025. So if you know anything about prophecies that this brother has been able to bring forward to this channel, he's been able to properly envision what the future was going to be utilizing his sacred sciences and whatnot. He's been doing this for a few years on KTL, giving us the quote unquote calendar of what things are to come or what's to come in the upcoming year and whatnot. So he'll be doing this for 2025. All right. This will be on Monday, December the 30th, ladies and gentlemen, from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. This will be on Zoom only. It will be available to our Patreons, and it's also open to the public. I'm going to drop the link right here in the chat. If you want to get your tickets, we have an early bird special. So please take advantage of the early bird special. Get your ticket, pull up, and be in the building. Brother's gonna bring it. He's gonna be doing his research. He's going to line things up for 2025 through the lens of a master teacher. I look forward to seeing y'all. And of course, I'm gonna be laying it out with my metaphysical lens and whatnot. One of the craziest, most unforgettable years that I've personally lived through, and I'm almost 50, and I promise you 2024 is one for the record books. So I already started putting my presentation together, and the good brother Ross Ben is going to bring the science, and we're going to be in the building to receive that. So make sure you go ahead and get yourself the early bird ticket, and we will see you when you pull up on Monday, December the 30th, from the hours of 8 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Now, you know it's going to go over that. You know it's going to go a little past 11. I'm just putting it out there. I know how we do. Where does the love for fashion, for style fashion come from? Do a show where you show you a blues artistic infusion / influence. Oh yeah, that's a whole series. You know what I mean? That will be a whole series, and we're gonna be doing that in 2025. Yes, I love that our channel got remonetized. Give it up for the channel. Because low key, they took my channel in 2023 in December, right? Right before we got into the New Year's, they snatched my channel. It was literally picture if a nigga snatched the Tiffany's diamond thorn crown off of Kendrick's head after one of his shows and just ran off into the audience. Them taking my channel was like snatching an iced out chain for real. That's how that shit felt. So we've been able to build this channel back up in 1 year's time, right? To where the membership is healthy. I went on one of them channels and it said my page is healthy, my nigga. I was looking at the analytics and the charts, my G. I was looking at the data. You know what I'm talking about? And it was like, nigga, you healthy. I got my diagnosis. We took a physical. This channel took a physical. You feel me? So the fact that the mind, I didn't get in my feelings. I was in my feelings. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was definitely in my feelings in the beginning, like a nigga would who got his chain snatched. And I was like, you know what I mean? And it was brother Rich. I gotta give credit where it's due. He was like, nigga, you don't have a YouTube channel. You're not on YouTube right now. And that shit snapped me out of that. And I was like, yeah, what am I doing? Like, let me go ahead and build this backup channel up and and put some wood in the fire. Pause. You feel me? And stand on business. You know what I mean? Stand on business. And that's what I did. And here we are, you know, and I've been able to maintain consistency. You know, I went through my automated phase because that was really something that I need to do because look, I'm a YouTuber, right? I'm a content creator. And I always wanted to do automation. I always wanted to do faceless channels. I always wanted to do, you know, multiple niches and utilize faceless channels. Like that whole faceless thing was something. So I was able to do this faceless campaign while I was faceless and everything because it's going to allow me to do like 5 or 6 other faceless channels where it doesn't even because the technology is to where you could speak in a mic like this and that shit could come out in Chinese and I could be sounding like a 15-year-old Chinese nigga. That's how intricate the AI is right now. You could literally just press a button and you become somebody else. So moving into 2025, it was almost like training. I did a little bit of training to just do this whole faceless type of thing, you know, to get that energy back, like how Blog Talk Radio used to have. And it was an experiment. And how did y'all like it? Y'all like the faceless thing? How was that for y'all? We had a whole era. That's an era. It's called a faceless era. You know, that was a whole era. It's 2024 faceless era. And yeah. Everything was cool as an experiment, you know. Then to make things, put the cherry on the top, leading to the end of the year, we get monetized. So, you know, we back in business. You feel me? We back in business. Then we got new shows. We got the Saturday Night Live, Sacrilegious Sundays, Melanin Mondays, Third Eye Thursdays, Filthy Fridays, Techno Tuesdays. Yeah, we working. We working, you know. We definitely working. So we'll continue to improve things. We'll continue to try new things. You know what I mean? We'll continue to move in the direction to whereas the information will even come out faster, faster, and more frequently. You feel me? Because just based off of the fact that content is king, just based off of the fact that content is KANG, you know, it yeah. Yeah, let her cook. Yeah, let her cook. Okay. Also, of course, it goes without saying as well, the emphasis also about balance. I was outside with my son walking around in the neighborhood, and I kind of was like, and really, I don't like to be the New Year's resolution type of nigga. To me, that's real cliche-ish. However, it's the beginning of the new fiscal, which ties into business. So adapting new formulas and new regimens for the new fiscal year, that is kind of on brand with me. That is something that I'm looking forward and whatnot. And yeah, I'm definitely going to do more nature before I even get into the matrix. So mandatory, touch the sun, touch the grass. You feel me? Mandatory, get the air, do all of that shit, and then jump in the matrix and play this digital game and whatnot, because you want to practice balance. You feel me? In 2024, I was in a cave a lot. I kind of like took myself off the scene and shit. And I was in the man cave. I was in my office. I was, I was in the I was in front of screens a lot. You know, I was in front of screens a lot. So 2025, even with the emphasis on content creation and creating more content and streaming and whatnot, there still has to be a level of balance implemented to whereas, you're not getting this blue light sickness, you know? But it's so much to be done in this new realm, in this digital realm. Um, with creation. There's so many fucking new tools. Wait till you see the show that we're gonna do on Techno Tuesday later on. Oh my goodness, there's so many new tools. There's so many new apps. There's so much possibility. Like I'm in Candyland right now, bro. This shit is not even real. Like, this is my thing to anybody, and we'll talk about this further. If you don't work for nobody, or if you want to get off of the plantation, this is the mentality that I would suggest that you adopt. A $1,000 budget every month, right? You know what people be talking about, how much they get paid a month? No, that's cool and everything, but what about the focus on you have to assign a budget to yourself on a monthly basis. Yeah, we know how much your bills cost a month. You added all of that up, great. All right, you added up how much you could bring home from the job, great. You added up how much certain other expenses are, awesome. Now add up your subscriptions to these tools and these quote unquote cheat codes. These tools are like cheat codes. How much does all of your subscriptions total? That right there is your budget. You should be able to clear that budget every month. All right, so if my budget is $1,000 and I'm actively paying $1,000 a month in my budget for my dream, for my vision, for my grind, for my business, whatever it may be. Some people might have a $10,000 budget. That's how deep it goes. You paying for licensing, you paying for subscriptions, you paying for courses, you're paying for a lot of things, which is going to lead to paying payroll and all of this other stuff, inventory, all of that other stuff is something different. I'm talking about stepping into every month with at least the minimum $1,000 budget to go towards these tools, the subscription, the monthly subscription, to activate these tools so you could boss the fuck up. You have to have a toolbox going to this new job in the digital economy. You got to step up with a toolbox. Your toolbox should have OpenAI, ChatGPT, Sora, DALL-E 3, Perplexity, Claude. You should have APIs. You should have Runway ML, Kling, Luna. This is if you're like into visuals and creation, marketing, content creation, shit like that. You know what I mean? Midjourney. All of these subscriptions should be included in your monthly budget. That $1,000 or that $5,000 that you pay in subscription fees, or what you would call your budget, that budget is going to gross about $100,000 if done correctly in terms of B2B business, or if you're selling a product, you feel me? Or if you're making content and you're getting paid for your content on a recurring basis, meaning what? All I have to do is make it one time and it will pay me like mechanical royalties. Do you understand? That's how I don't understand. Do you know what that really means? That's a win-win. I would focus on that heavily instead of brushing that shit off like it's a hobby. I would focus on that heavily. And I pray that some of y'all in the audience tonight have these children who are ready for the camera. They're ready for the world. They are stars in the making, right? I hope that y'all are quote unquote, rewarded with viral videos and an internet star, right? Who makes millions of dollars just off of doing what they like to do. Okay? Because these are the type of children that y'all gave birth to. These are the type of children that y'all have been in class learning all of these years, so you could coach them and you could steer them in the direction to whereas they could be successful, right, in this new economy, right? Look, there's NIL deals. There's college players making more money than the quote unquote professional athletes with NIL deals. With NIL deals. This shit is real, bro. They got gamers, dudes that are playing video games getting NIL deals. So salute to all of the parents who identify the star in their child. Don't bring them to Hollywood. Don't bring them to Tyler Perry. Don't bring them to Harvey Weinstein. Don't bring them to Dame Dash or Jay-Z. Don't bring them to R. Kelly or none of them. You live in a new day and time where you just bring them to iPhone and keep them out of the fucking rooms and sleepovers with these goddamn PDF files and these weirdos. You don't got to give your child to Disney no more. You don't got to give your child to Nickelodeon no more. You could have a set. You could control your own brand from your home. They could be bigger than Disney, nigga, and never seen one of these weird looking small hats ever. They could have just been chilling with their friends, you feel me, at Chuck E. Cheese and doing, just living the life of an innocent child protected by their team and their family, and their souls did not have to be given to Nickelodeon or Disney. That's the times that we're living in right now. Your child could be opening up fucking toys and make rent money. I'm talking about mortgage money. I'm talking about, I'm not out here with some child labor shit trying to tell you how to pimp your children. You feel me? I'm not out here trying to tell you to fucking put your child on a digital blade and whatnot. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Don't turn your 2-year-old. Don't turn Asar McDonald Ashe Bay into a fucking NPC and then feed off of his money. You know what I mean? To pay for that sewing and whatnot. Don't do that. We wasn't saying that. What I'm saying is, if you have yourself one of those stars, those star children, right, that are stars and whatnot, and they have what it takes, and they're naturally talented, they're naturally funny, and they could perform in front of a camera and not freeze up and whatnot. If they check all boxes, go and doing research on Castanet, go and doing research on iShowSpeed, go and do the research on Ryan's World, go to do the research on like Mr. Beast. I'm talking about deep dives, not no dumbass personal shit. Leave people in their personal life alone. You go and do the deep dive on a business. The most important data, not the bullshit. That's why people are so lost, because they spend all of their time in people's garbage of their personal shit that has nothing to do with you, and be bypassing the fucking gems of the business. What are my thoughts on Fat Joe and Lord Jamal's situation? The business, you know what I mean? The way that I would say to animate it, you know what I mean? Make it a cartoon, make it an animation. You feel me? Take it further than Lord Jamal and Fat Joe. You know what I mean? But utilize an artistic flair. Have let's see one of these 8-year-old or 9-year-olds talking about it. What's their perspective? You know what I mean? You could use the Fat Joe and Lord Jamal situation right now on Christmas to have your child launch a YouTube channel and give their hot take on it. They can start their podcast tomorrow. You understand? They could do a deep dive right now on Perplexity AI or Chat GPT to get all of the information about the history of what it is Lord Jamal is talking about with FBA. They could find out about his career in Brand Nubians. What is a Brand Nubian? What is Lord Jamal's discography? What is his time in the movies? How did he contribute to the rise of Vlad TV? Like all of this is information. This is all content. This is all research for content. And content is king, nigga. I promise you, content is king. Your content will go through multiple dimensions where you won't be able to go. Your content is quantum. It's jumping through different worlds, my nigga. You don't know who sees you, but I promise you, it's going places where you can't go. It's Kang, nigga. It's in multiple realities at once. That's what content is. I got mad videos floating around all over the world. Well, I'm just right here. But then when you run into people or when you go to those places around the world, how about your content was already fucking shit up before you got there? Your content took over the whole city before you got there, bro. It's Kang. The content will have people rolling out the red carpets for you and treating it like a king has arrived. Just off of the content that you were making from the confines of your home. What's fucking with that? You see where we're at? You see what type of day and time that we're in? Like Kai Cenat, these little streamers and whatnot, they could go around the world and cause riots. Just when the word gets out, yo, he's in Indonesia. Niggas is taking planes over there. They flooding the streets. They having traffic jams, right? Content is king. So take advantage of it. You know, nobody's going to hold your hands. You feel me? Nobody cares. They're not going to show up to the pity party. So if you want to cry, nigga, go get you a pillow and cry in it. You know what I mean? But content is king, nigga. Go and cry on film. Get on some, you know what I mean? Like it's a Tubi scene. Act like you Benzino. Like you, like, you know what I'm saying? But don't just be crying for the sake of it. You know what I mean? Make that shit some content. Yeah, give us the story. We want to hear the story with the sniffling and everything in it. Yeah, give us TikTok story time, my nigga. You know what I mean? We'll go down that rabbit hole with you. You know? Yeah, on some Tyrese type shit. But I can't say enough to say how powerful 2024 in retrospect is. You know, I cannot stress it enough. It is, you know, it's a marquee year. It's a catalyst year. It's one for the record books. It's one for the record books. We're going to continue to take notes. We're going to continue to flesh things out. We're going to continue to have these open dialogues and thought pieces with our audience. We're going to continue to do deep dives on some of these topics that we might not even know that these topics are as deep as they are until we start diving into them. You know? Yeah, cry on film. Shit. Cry on film. You feel me? But this is Hunger Games mixed with a few other things, Squid Games. We not out of the fucking run-ins. We not out of the run-ins. We not safe. We still inside of the Hunger Games. Don't get gas. We still gotta put on. You know what I mean? We still gotta put on at the end of the day. So the new fiscal year is around the corner. Tomorrow is Christmas. If you have children and you putting on for them, salute to you for handling your business. Fuck all of that other shit. There's a day at the end of the year where none of that other shit means anything but the day when it matters the most. So for all of y'all that are showing up for that, salute, you know what I mean? Keep doing your thing. Keep keeping them, you know what I mean? Keep making them proud and whatnot. You know? And we will be back. All right. We will be back to tap in with y'all. And I want to say thank you for your time. And we will be back tonight with our good brother for Techno Tuesdays. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit like. And yeah, pull up because we're going to be dropping some bombs. This is really going to be gift wrap season tonight. This is going to be some motherfucking presents. We're going to be unwrapping our gifts tonight. So pull up to Techno Tuesdays episode 3 with me and Spin City. And with that being said, hit up the buymeacoffee.com/ and I should have did a sale for the clothes and whatnot, but we're going to do that after Christmas. We're going to do an after Christmas sale leading up to the New Year's, where we're going to be basically getting rid of all of this inventory that we have. So with that being said, peace, love, and light. I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Red, blue, purple light, red, blue, purple light, friends, facts, red, blue, purple light, friends, red and blue, purple light, friends, facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to Melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.